Hey, what's up guys, Steven here, welcome back to another video, and today we're taking a closer look at the perfect all-around bike. So if you follow me for a longer time, you may know that I reviewed already two bikes from the brand Noko. The Noko Tempo and the Noko Urban, and I was already really impressed by the quality. Now Noko is an Italian company and they take things really serious, like for instance frame design, components they use, companies they work with. So you're getting really an e-bike that matches their quality standards, and they are pretty high compared to other e-bikes we already tested on the channel. So the Nokoblaze is their latest all-round bike that you can take on the mountain. You can take it to the city if you're going for work, you can take it for commuting. It's a bike that offers a lot of range. It offers also a lot of great features, like we're having a chain, many gears, we have a removable battery, we have a front suspension, we have wide tires and a lot of comfort features and a motor that is delivering a great performance. So overall, I'm super excited to take you on this review with the Nokoblaze. I've tested it out intensively over the last 2 weeks in all kind of scenarios, so let's go and let's check it out.
First things first, let's talk about the design. The Nokoblaze is a real eye-catcher with its minimalistic and modern aesthetic. The frame is made out of lightweight aluminum, which not only makes it durable, but also keeps the weight down, making it also easier to ride. Overall, this bike just screams sophistication. The e-bike arrives almost pre-assembled. All you have to do is attach the handlebar, front wheel and the pedals, and also the seat. That takes around 10 minutes. It comes with all the tools needed and of course also a charger to charge the battery. Now, one of the standout features of the Nokoblaze is its attention to detail. From the invisible welds on the frame to the hidden cables, everything about this bike is designed to be visually pleasing. The matte finish on the frame feels premium and the branding is subtle, which I personally love. It's clear that Noko has put a lot of thought into making this bike not just functional, but also stylish. Designed in Italy, and that's not just marketing. The company behind Noko is based in Italy, and the Nokoblaze is a project designed in Italy, conceived and developed with passion and expertise in Italy, and it reflects the high quality and precision of Italian mechanical engineering. The bike comes with 29-inch wheels with Kenda hybrid tires for all terrains, mudguards and even a luggage rack. Now, one of the highlights is the removable battery that can be locked with a coded key. Noko uses Samsung cells with a capacity of total 670 watt-hours at 36 volts. This battery is massive and gives you around 100 to 140 kilometers of range at an assistance level of 3 and around 50 to 80 kilometers at a maximum assistance level of 5. Now, this depends of course on your weight and the route, but that's really massive. The charging time is around 4 hours to completely charge the battery, and having a removable battery is great, as it can be easily swapped, and if you have a flat and you need to keep your bike downstairs, you can take the battery up for charging easily. The battery also has a little status indicator, a power button and let's call it a safety main switch. There's a big display in the handlebar center that shows the battery, speed, kilometer count and which mode you're in. Controls are on the left to turn it on and switch the modes, but also to turn on the lights and activate the walk assist. Noko only uses high quality components for the bike, so also the motor. The Truck-Run M06 95 Nm motor is a powerful mid-drive electric motor designed primarily for e-bikes, particularly those intended for more demanding applications like mountain biking or heavy-duty commuting. The M06 motor offers a substantial 95 Nm of torque. As a mid-drive motor, the M06 is mounted centrally on the bike's frame, and this placement helps maintain a low center of gravity, improving the balance and the handling. It also allows the motor to leverage the bike's gears, optimizing power output across different riding conditions. Now, mid-drive motors like the M06 are generally more efficient than hub motors, especially when it comes to range. By working in conjunction with the bike's gears, the motor can operate more effectively at different speeds and inclines, potentially extending the battery life on long rides, and that's why the Nokoblaze offers a stunning range and also works out great on mountains or steep hills. The top power output of the motor is 250 watts, features a torque sensor, offers 5 riding modes and can be fine-tuned, and it's overall a really good motor. Now talking about the gears, it's a chain bike with a Shimano Diore 10-speed group set, and it boasts a smooth operating shift lever for effortless trail control. I really like chain bikes, much more than belt-driven bikes. Chain bikes, of course, they require a bit more maintenance, but especially for hills or mountains, it is the better choice. In the city, the bike is also super smooth, similar to a belt bike, but you can see the potential once you have to ride uphill. By choosing the gears, the motor can support you much better than on any belt-driven bike. You can basically climb any steep hill without too much effort. The front suspension is really great out of the box. There's also a red adjustment wheel for the rebound, and it has around 100mm of travel. Possibly the front suspension could be upgraded, but I absolutely don't see any need for that. I rode the bike almost every day for the last 2 weeks, and I went for little city trips around Vienna in the fields and also to the local mountain to my favorite viewpoint. The bike handles everything really well. In the city I keep the suspension a bit harder, and if I go out of the city I just adjust it to be softer. And you can even reach the suspension adjustment easily while riding. Now let's talk about the brakes. This is something where almost every e-bike manufacturer saves money. At least with all the Chinese e-bikes we have reviewed. Now Noko uses a high quality Ronglan FA100 front and rear brake set. Those are mineral oil hydraulic disc brakes with 2 pistons and 180mm discs with metal ceramic brake pads. The brakes are fantastic, out of the box, incredibly strong and noise free. Now with a lot of the bikes we tested, the discs, especially when they were really hot, they probably warped and they made a squeaky sound afterwards. You could never get rid of that unless you start taking everything apart and maybe changing the discs. Here, even after pushing it hard, the brakes make no noise at all and they are really strong. So you can really go on any terrain with the bike because of the strong brakes, well-designed frame and the suspension, and of course the all-terrain tires. And shredding down the mountain made me remember another important benefit of Noko. Now Noko offers 5-year warranty on the frame and 2 years on other components. The Noko support is also really quick and they can offer replacement parts. That's a really huge benefit, because if you import a bike from China, many times it's difficult or somewhat impossible to get replacement parts, especially if the company disappears. So buying a bike from a European company has its benefits. Also, as a premium brand, they have a great pre- and after-sales service. So before you're buying the bike, you can talk to the customer care team. They are available 7 days a week via WhatsApp, email, phone, Instagram, and they can assist you in determining the correct size based on your measurements, which is really important to really enjoy your bike. Another important thing is to be compliant with the law regarding lights and reflectors. And of course that's also important for safety at night. The Nokoblaze probably has the coolest lighting system I've ever seen on an e-bike. The integrated front and rear LED lights, powered by the e-bike's battery, they are pretty sick. It doesn't only look cool, but offers great visibility at night, and you can also turn on the high beam for signals, or if you just simply need more light because you're going faster. And I also really love the side positioned lights, and it just feels very safe with the bike at night, and also you don't need any other accessory lights for it. All the lights can be controlled also directly from the handlebar, including the high beam with just a single button press. Overall, the bike was a huge surprise. I usually get e-bikes to review that are only great in one area, like city bikes. But Nokoblaze basically covers it all, from the city to the surroundings, or even, if you like to, go on mountains. So far, it's the best e-bike I've reviewed in 2024.
Alright guys, so we're now here at the end of this review, and let me just quickly sum up and give you my opinion on the Nokoblaze. Now, as I've mentioned already in the intro, we tested out a lot of Chinese e-bikes on this channel, and mostly they cheap out on crucial components. So many times the brakes, they work really well in the first weeks, in the first month, but then they start to squeak a lot and make noise. I think personally it's because of the quality of the disc brakes, that they are maybe not 100% straight anymore, maybe also other things. So here we have disc brakes that are really high quality, as you've seen in this video, great brands. So Noko works with Shimano, as you can see, also for the gears, for the whole powertrain here. Also, the Nokoblaze is a bike for everything. Now, I took it to meet some friends at night. I took it to some work appointments. I even took it to the mountain just right over here. And the battery life and the performance and especially the rest is pretty amazing. So we're having the front suspension, which is nice to adjust. It really removes a little bit of stress from your arms, from your shoulders if you go over the cobblestone, for instance here. We have brakes that are really strong and they don't make any noise, precise out of the box, no need to adjust or whatever. You just put the wheel in the front wheel and you're ready to go. Now the front suspension, 100 millimeters of travel, that's pretty great. The motor strong, over 90 Newton meters of torque. So you definitely feel it if you're switching through the gears that you're going forward. The gears especially, that's a huge difference to a belt-driven bike, especially if you go on mountains, if you go hills up. Belt-driven bikes, they don't have gears, so at some point if it's just too high up, the motor struggles and cannot keep the power output with the current ratio to go up that hill. But here you can just switch the gear and the motor can then always provide the perfect power to go up there. Even on very steep trails here, I could go up there with 10, 12 kilometers per hour, which I could never do with a belt-driven bike. So for the city, it's great. It features here some extra load for your backpack. It has a really wide handlebar, so you have good controls. You can adjust the suspension also for the city if you want it a bit stiffer. The brakes are great. So it's a great bike not only for the city but also for outside of the city. It has a very long range. Now I went 2 times to the mountain. We are still looking here at more than 50% battery, even though it was up quite a lot, so the more than 100 kilometers range is possible. Of course, it depends on the driving conditions, on the weight of the driver, etc. But this is a bike where you can really go on long distances, but also high on hills. I think personally for me, I had the most fun testing out this e-bike compared to many other e-bikes we tested on this channel, because it's an all-round bike that can do pretty much everything. Now, overall, very happy with the Nokoblaze. Just some things you have to keep in mind. You need to check the sizes before you buy, because you cannot adjust the handlebar, you cannot make it higher. Now for me it's perfect, I'm 186 high, this is a large frame. Of course you can adjust here the seat, also quite high as you can see, but for me I just keep it round about here, that's halfway in, so it's a quite large frame. But just make sure to buy the correct frame size once you buy it, because you cannot change the handlebar because it hosts the display and all those other things. And second of all, so far I didn't see an app for that. Many people, when they have an e-bike, they're obsessed with having an app for this. Noko says there will be an app later on because they use also a brand new powertrain from Truck Run. I think they will use their own app to do some adjustments for the motor, to check the motor, things like this. But overall, that's the only drawbacks I've seen, so no app for now, and to make sure to get the correct size. Other than that, it's the perfect around bike and I had the most fun of it testing it over the last 2 weeks. So if you want to have more information on Nokoblaze, make sure to check it out. Links are down below. If there are any discounts, I will also update and links are down below. And if you have any questions, feel free to write a comment. As always, big thanks for watching here until the end. I'm Steven from Tech Magnet and I'm signing out. Have a nice day.